Welcome to the world of dark romance tales. Dare to follow us into the night, where desire and danger entwine. That night, when I knelt down to propose to Luu Nhu Yen, she didn't reject me, but she didn't accept either. She just looked at me, her voice gentle yet firm. Can you give me a little more time? I don't want to regret anything later. Before accepting your confession, I want to express my feelings to the man I've secretly loved for many years. I just want, for once in my life, to experience a love without regrets. Hearing that, my mind went blank. I wondered what kind of person I was. A fool waiting here to pick up scraps left over from someone else's love? I laughed, but I still thanked her for her honesty. Then I turned around, walked away, and married someone else. Sometime later, Luu Nhu Yen called me again. Ky Bac Dat, I'm ready now. Get ready to propose to me one more time. But the one who picked up the phone was my wife. She laughed softly. Sorry, but he's my husband now. In the 7th year of my relationship with Luu Nhu Yen, I prepared a special surprise for her birthday, another proposal. I had been planning that moment for a long time, choosing the ring, arranging the venue, perfecting every little detail. Everything was filled with my love for her. That night, when the lights dimmed and soft music filled the room, everything felt perfect. Finally, I gathered all my courage, knelt on one knee, took out the ring symbolizing eternal commitment, and spoke with all the sincerity in my heart. Will you marry me? Everyone around us cheered emotionally. Say yes, say yes. In that moment, I thought it would be the most beautiful moment of my life. But things didn't go as I hoped. Luu Nhu Yen hesitated, her eyes flickered with complicated emotions. Ky Bac Dat, can you give me more time? I don't want there to be anything in my life that I'll regret. Then she continued, her voice trembling but still determined. Before I marry you, I want to confess my feelings to another man. I just want to know what a love without regrets feels like. At that moment, it felt like someone punched me hard in the chest. My heart tightened painfully. I froze. After everything is over, I'll say yes. I won't hesitate anymore, she added. But her words meant nothing to me anymore. The lively room fell into suffocating silence. I stood there, empty, unable to believe the night had turned out this way. Seeing my stunned face, Nhu Yen hurried to explain. Ky Bac Dat, trust me, I really like you. I know you'll be a good husband. But her voice shook. I just don't want to regret anything. You know my feelings for you are real, so I hope you can understand. Hearing her, my heart twisted, disappointment and bitterness mixing into a painful mess. I forced a smile even though it felt like my heart was being torn apart. So that's what I was in this relationship. Never the only one. Just a safe choice, someone she kept around in case she failed. After that, Nhu Yen gathered all her courage and went to find Ky Bac Dat, the man she had always secretly loved. Her eyes were full of nerves and excitement, as if this was the most important moment of her life. Ky Bac Dat, she whispered, can you be with me? I just want a love I'll never regret. Her voice trembled, but every word was resolute, filled with desire and desperate hope that he would return her feelings. He looked at Nhu Yen gently, a hint of surprise in his eyes, quickly replaced by satisfaction. Smug and disgusting. Then Ky Bac Dat turned to look straight at me, his gaze filled with provocation, as if flaunting his victory. Right in front of me, he smiled, his voice dripping with self-satisfaction. I accept, Nhu Yen. He sounded as though he had just obtained the most precious treasure in the world. And I just stood there, turned into a fool. Rage and humiliation burned through me. The two of them didn't even bother hiding it, they openly displayed their feelings in front of everyone. To me, it was an unforgettable humiliation. Back then, Luu Nhu Yen once told me that if anything were going to happen between her and Ky Bac Dat, it would have happened long ago, not now. And like an idiot, I believed her. I thought what we had was real, but now I realized how foolish I'd been. Many people had warned me before, saying Nhu Yen and Ky Bac Dat had a strangely ambiguous relationship. That I should be careful. But I had been blinded by love, unable to see who they truly were. I believed that as long as I tried hard enough, things would change. But in the end, I became the joke in their cruel play. That shameless couple hugged each other and started kissing passionately right in front of everyone. The crowd fell silent in shock. Whispering spread as disbelief filled the room. All I could do was stand there, watching everything unfold, my heart heavy, aching, and helpless. Wai Dang Tan glanced at me from the corner of his eye, filled with mockery and contempt. As if declaring victory. In those eyes was an arrogant message. I've already won. Rage exploded in my mind, burning away any reason I had left. Before I knew it, I lunged forward and punched him straight in the face. Wai Dang Tan fell instantly. I jumped on him, pinning him to the ground, raining blows on him. My fury was like an erupting volcano, uncontrolled, unstoppable. The crowd snapped out of their shock and rushed to pull me away. Voices shouted, footsteps scattered in chaos. Luu Nhu Yen rushed to Wai Dang Tan, held him, shielded him, and glared at me with anger and blame. Ky Bac Dat, what right do you have to hit Wai Dang Tan? He didn't even do anything to you. Her voice was sharp with anger. Her face was filled with contempt and disappointment. Apologize to him, now, she said coldly. If not, I will never forgive you. I let out a bitter laugh, full of sarcasm and self-mockery. Suddenly, my chest tightened, as if an invisible hand was squeezing my heart, making it hard to breathe. The scene before me was like a sharp blade, slicing apart the last remaining illusions I had about love. The woman I once cherished, protected, and treasured was now kissing another man right in front of me. Those lips, the same lips I had kissed countless times, now belonged to someone else. My heart shattered, like porcelain dropped from a great height, splintering into countless sharp fragments. Each shard plunging deeper into my chest, stealing every breath I had left. Why did you have to be like this too? I tried to speak, but my throat tightened, unable to form the words. Luu Nhu Yen turned back to look at me. There was no remorse in her eyes, not even guilt. Instead, she wore a defiant expression. I just want one more relationship before marrying you. Her words struck like thunder on a clear day. My mind buzzed, and I stood there, frozen, unable to believe she truly said that. There's no rule saying I can only love one person, she continued, her tone casually cruel. Hearing her, the anger building inside me reached its breaking point. I knew that if I exploded, she would only feel more satisfied. So I forced myself to breathe deeply, then said coldly, "Then it's over. If you choose him, stay with him. I hope you two are happy." My friends stepped forward at once. "Luu Nhu Yen, you've gone too far. Ky Bac Dat treated you so well, how could you do this? Aren't you the least bit ashamed?" But even under all the criticism, Nhu Yen didn't look guilty at all. She pretended to be hurt, tears spilling from her eyes. But there wasn't a hint of remorse in them. "What did I even do that was too much?" she cried. "I'm still going to marry Ky Bac Dat. I didn't reject his proposal. I just told him to wait a little bit." Her voice was stubborn, impossibly unreasonable. "What did I do wrong?" she asked, her tearful eyes shining with arrogance. As if she truly didn't understand the way she had shattered someone's heart. Her shameless, cold-blooded words left everyone in stunned silence. No one could say a thing. People exchanged looks, then slowly shook their heads. My friends looked at me with pity. Someone patted my shoulder, as if trying to say, "She's hopeless, let her go." I stood there silently, unable to speak. My heart felt like a barren wasteland, empty, numb. And I knew that from that exact moment, the love I had for Luu Nhu Yen truly died. "You know what?" she suddenly said. "Maybe I should temporarily break up with you so Wai Dang Tan won't get jealous." Her tone was gentle, but her certainty made it sound like she was issuing an irreversible decree. She continued, half joking, half commanding. "But you have to promise me one thing, wait for me. Don't date anyone else." I laughed, not because it was funny, but because I was furious. I couldn't believe the way she thought. Where did she get that kind of confidence? Did she really think I was her puppet? A man who existed only to obey her, to be moved around as she wished? For a moment, a dark thought flashed through my mind. I wanted to crack open her skull to see if there was anything inside besides garbage. Even I was shocked by my own thought. But my anger had already burned away my reason. That was who Luu Nhu Yen truly was, impulsive, reckless, never caring about consequences, never once looking back. I left the private room, heart shattered. 7 years of love ended so easily, so cruelly. As I stepped out, Wai Dang Tan, who had been quietly observing the whole time, suddenly spoke calmly. "Luu Nhu Yen, aren't you afraid someone else might steal him from you right now? A man like him isn't easy to find." "No need to worry," she answered confidently. He loves me so much that if I snap my fingers, he'll run to me like a loyal dog, kneel down and beg me to marry him. I have nothing to be afraid of. Hearing that, all I could do was laugh bitterly. Now I truly understood. To her, I was nothing but a blind fool. A controllable puppet. A backup plan she could throw away whenever she got bored. Yeah, exactly. Why dang Ton chuckled. A guy like him always ends up like that. Their conversation made me sick to my stomach. I didn't want to hear another word. Anyway, forget that. What should we do now? Why dang Ton changed the subject. Luu Nhu Yen glanced at him shyly. What do you mean, what should we do? You know, the things lovers usually do. He replied, voice low and full of implication. That night, for the first time in my life, I drank until I completely lost control. But alcohol couldn't numb the pain, it only made me more aware of the misery inside me. Saying I wasn't hurt would be a lie. 7 years of love had ended abruptly. Absurdly. Irreversibly. My heart felt torn apart, painful. Suffocating. The next afternoon, around 3, sunlight slipped through the curtains and onto my face. I slowly opened my eyes, realizing I was lying on the sofa at Lam Duke's place, my close friend. I rubbed my eyes, trying to shake off the hangover. Lam Duck was still sleeping on the couch beside me, snoring softly, as if last night's nightmare had been nothing more than a forgettable dream. I shook my head, bitterness rising in my chest. As I sat up and tried to clear my mind, the memories of last night crashed back into me like a violent wave. I had failed at my proposal. My girlfriend, Luu Nhu Yen, had run off with another man. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But that was the painful truth. 7 years of love. And all that remained was disappointment. And shattered pieces. I sat there blankly for more than 10 minutes, my throat dry and tight. Eventually, I got up, opened the fridge, took out a bottle of water, tilted my head back, and drank it all. The cold stream slid down my throat, but it couldn't extinguish the storm raging inside me. Right then, Lam Duck also woke up. He rubbed his eyes, glanced at the bottle in my hand, looked like he wanted to say something but only sighed and stayed silent. I knew he was sad and helpless for me too. By the time I left Lam Duke's place to head back to my apartment, it was already dark. A little past 7 p.m. the place was silent, so quiet I could hear my own breathing. Everything inside was exactly the same as before. Unchanged, only the person who once made this place warm was no longer here. Nothing had changed, yet everything was different. I knew Luu Nhu Yen hadn't come home last night. An emptiness tightened around my chest, heavy enough to suffocate. If things had gone according to plan, this would have been the happy home of me and Nhu Yen. But now everything was different. The person who once vowed to spend her life with me had vanished from my world. I let out a dry laugh and went back to the bedroom. I forced myself to sleep. My body still felt heavy from last night's alcohol, my head spinning. The first day, then the second, then the third. Time slipped by day after day, as if Luu Nhu Yen had completely disappeared from my life. And slowly, I learned to accept that truth. Learned to let go of this failed relationship. I threw out everything that belonged to her and even changed the door code. This apartment was meant to be our newlywed home. But now I had no intention of that anymore. She had no right to step into this place again. To be honest, in the first few nights after the breakup, whenever the house fell silent and darkness settled in, I still couldn't stop myself from thinking about her, about the beautiful moments we once had. Memories now reduced to nothing but fragments. That weekend, lazy sunlight filtered through the curtains into the room. I curled up on the sofa, lost in an adventure game. The clicking of the keyboard and the upbeat music in my headphones blended into the only soundtrack of my small world. But that peace was shattered by a rapid, relentless knocking at the door. Who is it? I shouted irritably, fingers still reluctant to leave the keyboard, clinging to the last bit of focus in the game. Ky Bac Dat, open the door, I know you're in there. The voice outside was so familiar it made me freeze. Annoyance surged instantly. It was Luu Nhu Yen. Half a month ago, she vanished like the wind, no message, no explanation, and now she appeared again like nothing had happened, as if everything was still the same. I tried to ignore her, but the knocking grew louder, clearly intentional. I couldn't focus anymore. Exhaling heavily, I stood up and opened the door. The moment it swung open, I saw Luu Nhu Yen standing beside Wai Dang Ton. At their feet was a pile of luggage, definitely not just dropping by. "What are you doing here?" I asked coldly. Hearing me call her by name, Nhu Yen paused, surprise flickering in her eyes. But she quickly regained that calm, arrogant demeanor that drove people mad. The look of someone who thought she still controlled everything. She didn't answer my question. Instead, she started questioning me. "Why did you change the door code? Are you hiding someone inside?" I froze for a moment from sheer anger. She was still the same, never admitting she was wrong. Always looking for someone else to blame. "This is my house," I snapped. "What's wrong with me changing the code? Even if I brought someone home, it wouldn't be your business. Remember, we already broke up." Luu Nhu Yen smirked, lips curling into a half-mocking, half-challenging smile. "So what if we broke up? This is still my home. I want to stay here." Her voice dripped with self-satisfaction, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. "Luu Nhu Yen, on what basis do you claim this is your home?" I shouted. "Do you pay rent? Did you contribute to buying this place? What gives you the right?" "Come on, Ky Bac Dat." She suddenly softened, adopting that fake pitiful tone. "I know you're jealous. You're still upset I didn't accept your proposal. I already explained. What more do you want? Don't make me hate you. If you keep acting like this, even if you beg me to come back later, I won't agree." I laughed, dry, bitter. Same excuses as always. Everything was someone else's fault. She was forever the victim. "That's right, Ky Bac Dat," Wai Dang Ton cut in, his voice dripping with mockery. "Don't make it such a big deal. Look, Nhu Yen and I are just dating, it's no big deal. She'll come back to you eventually. You're a man, aren't you? Can't handle your girl liking someone else? How petty." His tone carried open contempt. In his eyes glittered a triumphant look as if to say, "See, you'll always lose to me." I tried to stay calm, but anger was already boiling inside me. Coldly, I said, "Get out, before I lose control, because this time, no one will stop me." My stare was sharp enough to slice through him. The arrogant smile on Wai Dang Ton's face froze instantly. He looked away, and for the first time, I saw fear flash in his eyes, fear mixed with shame. He knew he had finally crossed my line. "Ky Bac Dat, watch your mouth," Luu Nhu Yen snapped sharply, stepping protectively beside Wai Dang Ton. "He's my boyfriend now, you should respect him. Apologize to both of us. Right now." Her eyes gleamed with smug triumph, as though she had just won some invisible battle. I gave a cold laugh. "Then take your dog of a boyfriend out of my house. And don't ever show up in front of me again." My voice was firm, icy, leaving no room for hesitation. Nhu Yen only grew more aggressive. "Ky Bac Dat, are you deaf? I told you to kneel and apologize to me and Wai Dang Ton." She snapped. Her voice was sharp and high-pitched like a blade tearing through the air. I exploded. "Apologize my ass. Get out of here, before I call the police to arrest the both of you for trespassing." My shout cracked through the room like thunder, vibrating with fury. Nhu Yen's face flushed red, her eyes blazing. "Acting like that, you really think you can compare to Wai Dang Ton? Don't even dream about it." She spat, each word laced with hatred. Then she added with a sneer, "You know what? On our trip, Wai Dang Ton even wanted to buy you a gift. How ridiculous. You don't deserve it. You'll regret what you did today. I promise you that." When she finished, Luu Nhu Yen shot me one last venomous glare, her words like knives thrown at my chest, then turned and stormed off. As her figure disappeared behind the door, the apartment suddenly grew unnervingly quiet, only my heavy breathing remained. I smirked. She thinks I'll regret it? Absurd. Maybe Nhu Yen still believes I have feelings for her. But the man standing here is no longer the Ky Bac Dat she used to know. If I were the person I used to be, maybe her words would have crushed me. But not anymore. Wai Dang Ton seemed completely shocked by my outburst. While dragging their pile of luggage, he stumbled after Nhu Yen like a scolded puppy, tripping over his own feet. Watching it, a strange feeling rose inside me, an unexpected, dark satisfaction. So for the past half-month, Luu Nhu Yen had been traveling with Wai Dang Ton, parading a love she claimed was without regret. She even blocked me on WeChat, deleted my number, vanished without a trace. I only learned what happened later when a friend told me they'd already moved in together, starting their new life. Outside the apartment building, night had fallen, The dim yellow streetlights stretched their shadows long across the pavement. Luu Nhu Yen walked fast, her heels striking sharply against the ground, the sound cold and crisp in the dark. Nhu Yen, so where are you going to stay now? Ky Bac Dat finally asked, sounding slightly worried, barely audible. Nhu Yen stopped, turned to him, the anger in her eyes slowly faded, replaced by calculation. After a few moments of silence, her gaze hardened with determination. I'll stay with you. Ky Bac Dat's eyes widened. Even though their relationship had progressed quickly, the idea of living together still seemed too sudden for him. Is that okay? What if Ky Bac Dat finds out? He mumbled. Nhu Yen gave him a soft smile, her tone teasing. Ky Bac Dat, you're my boyfriend now, what's wrong with living together? Or, are you already tired of me? No, of course not. He waved his hands quickly, forcing a smile. How could I ever get tired of you? Living with you would be my honor. But weren't you two just temporarily broken up? Nhu Yen's expression softened, her voice lowering into something mysterious. Yes, we're only temporarily broken up. He's better suited to be a husband, not a boyfriend. If you want romance, you choose someone like you. She looked at Ky Bac Dat with gentle, melting eyes. He stared at her for a second, then smiled, warmth blooming in his chest. You're right, he said, a playful smile tugged at his lips. Ky Bac Dat only knows how to work. He's not romantic at all. And under the hazy night sky, the two traders laughed together, a laugh I know someday they'll pay for. How long are we going to date? Ky Bac Dat asked. Luu Nhu Yen thought for a moment, then answered in a light but meaningful tone. Let things happen naturally. Just thinking about how he talked to me earlier makes me furious. I need to teach him a proper lesson. A month had passed since Luu Nhu Yen and I broke up. But my heart was still tangled with frustration and irritation. That night, I was scrolling on my phone aimlessly when it rang. Lame Duck was calling. Hey, Ky Bac Dat, our class reunion is tomorrow night. You coming? He asked enthusiastically. I thought for a moment. I had no plans anyway. So I agreed. I hadn't attended a reunion in years. Back then, Nhu Yen always said reunions were just excuses for exes to reconnect. So she forbid me from going. I naively thought she was just worried someone would like me. So I listened. The next evening, Lame Duck and I arrived at the restaurant. Not long after, Na Phuong walked in. Her presence immediately drew the entire room's attention. The guys swarmed her instantly. Na Phuong, long time no see. Why'd you come this year? Is it because of someone? One of them teased. She gave a soft, gentle smile. No, nothing like that. I just haven't seen everyone for a while and I happen to be free this year. The girls rushed over, dragging her away from the guys while scolding them playfully. You all are ridiculous. Your minds are in the gutter all day. Back off. I had to admit, Na Phuong was still well liked. Just like before, she wasn't breathtakingly gorgeous, but her gentle beauty grew on people the more they looked. She was cheerful, easy to get along with, knew how to carry herself, and always respected boundaries. She had a quiet charm that drew in both men and women alike. Lame Duck nudged me with his elbow, grinning. So, you think maybe she came because of you? I looked at Na Phuong chatting with a smile, then shook my head, smirking. No way. Lame Duck suddenly grew serious, a hint of regret in his eyes. You seriously have no idea? She liked you back in college. Everyone knew, except you. I was genuinely stunned. Thinking back, there were little signs, walking to class together, eating together, studying together, but I'd never thought about it further. To me, we were just friends back then. When Lame Duck accidentally mentioned the name Luu Nhu Yen, I felt something get stuck in my throat, uncomfortable like I had just swallowed a fly. I told you already, don't mention that name again. I frowned, my voice heavy with irritation. At this point, I felt nothing toward Nhu Yen except disgust. The memories that were once sweet had turned into sharp thorns lodged deep in my chest. Just thinking about her made me nauseous. But Lame Duck didn't seem to care much about my mood. He pulled me toward Na Phuong and called out loudly. Na Phuong, still as pretty as ever. Huh? Business seems to be doing well. Share some secrets so us juniors can learn from you. His joking tone made everyone around burst into laughter. Na Phuong replied with a playful smile. Oh, stop it, Lame Duck. A rich young master like you teasing me? I should be learning from you. Her light-hearted comment set the whole table laughing again. Then she turned to me, her eyes softening, her smile gentle as a breeze. It's been a long time. Ky Bac Dat, how have you been? I scratched my head awkwardly. I've been all right. A simple answer, yet it was the most honest one. Ever since breaking up with Nhu Yen, my life had lost its color. Every day felt bland and dull. Of course, Lam Duck couldn't sit still. All right, my ass. He got rejected when he proposed not long ago. The whole table erupted in laughter. Na Fuang arched an eyebrow, then smiled mischievously. Really? Looks like your taste in women isn't very good. Ky Bac Dat, maybe next time you should try proposing to me instead. The table burst into another round of laughter, teasing and playful. And strangely, in that moment, I felt lighter. But as soon as she said that, the atmosphere shifted slightly, something subtle, indescribable, like a thin layer of tension stretched between us. I knew Na Fuang was only joking, the kind of harmless teasing among friends. Yet my chest still tightened a little. Being reminded of my failed proposal was never pleasant. Luckily, everyone here was an old classmate, people I used to be close with. And thankfully, there was no one I wanted to avoid, especially not Luu Nhu Yen. Just thinking that was enough to make me relax a bit. Oh look, seems like Na Fuang is making the first move. Lam Duck shouted teasingly, causing another wave of laughter to roll through the room. I felt my face turn red all the way to my ears. I had just learned she used to like me back in college. And now I was being teased right in front of everyone. My heart was pounding like crazy, I didn't even know how to react. I stammered, unable to form a sentence. A swirl of emotions rising inside me. Mostly confusion. I honestly didn't know if I was ready for something new. Seeing my awkwardness, Na Fuang lightly tapped Lam Duke's shoulder. Half scolding, half laughing. Stop talking nonsense. Her natural gesture eased the atmosphere immediately. Because of her, the awkward moment slowly dissolved, leaving behind a warm, comfortable feeling. By the time the reunion ended, the sky had turned completely dark. The city lights in the distance faded into faint glowing lines drifting across the air. Lam Duck and a few others exchanged knowing looks, then grinned mischievously. Ky Bac Dat, you and Na Fuang live in the same direction. Take her home. Before I could say anything, the group scattered like the wind, leaving me and Na Fuang standing under the soft yellow glow of the streetlights. Our shadows stretched long on the pavement, quietly blending into each other. We got into the car together. On the way back, soft music played quietly, filling the car with a warm, calm silence. We talked casually about work, the weather, and the years we'd missed. Every word felt careful, gentle, like pressing too hard might hurt the fragile corners of each other's hearts. But the peacefulness didn't last long. Na Fuang suddenly turned and looked at me, her eyes bright, so serious that I froze for a moment. What I said earlier, was it just a joke to you? Or have you thought about it at all? Her voice was soft, yet every word seemed to drop straight into my chest, sending ripples through me. I tried to stay calm even though my heart was racing. You said a lot tonight. I'm not sure which part you mean. I answered, half dodging, half testing. Unexpectedly, she didn't hesitate. She looked straight into my eyes and said slowly, "Let's date." My foot slammed on the brake instinctively. The tires screeched against the road, and the car jerked to a stop by the curb. I turned toward her. The streetlight outside filtered through the window, casting a faint, hazy glow on her face. In that moment, she was breathtaking. I forgot how to breathe. I could only stare. I forced myself to steady my voice, it came out hoarse. You know, it hasn't been long since. She gently cut me off, her voice soft as spring wind. You don't have to answer right away. Take your time, I don't want to pressure you. There wasn't the slightest hint of force in her tone, only warmth and understanding. I'll be staying here for a few more weeks for work. Before I leave, just give me your answer. She smiled, a faint, gentle curve. Her words felt like a warm breeze melting the ice inside my chest. 7 years ago, I missed my chance with you, she whispered, her eyes glowed in the night. 7 years later, I don't want to make the same mistake again. This time, I want to try. That look in her eyes made my heart tighten, tender yet determined. In them, I saw forgiveness for the past and hope for the future. The car started moving again, drifting slowly through the quiet streets. Inside my mind, emotions churned wildly, surprise, warmth, and somewhere beneath it all, a whisper of fear. When the car stopped in front of the hotel where she was staying, it was already late. Ta Na Fuang gave a faint smile and whispered, "Thank you." Then she turned and walked toward the lobby, the warm yellow lights casting a soft glow over her slender, gentle silhouette. I stayed seated in the car, watching until her figure disappeared behind the revolving doors, my heart still trembling. Even after she was gone, I kept staring at those doors, an odd, indescribable feeling swelling in my chest. The day before Na Fuang was scheduled to leave the city, I asked Lam Duck out for drinks. The moment he saw me, the first thing he said was, "So, how's it going? You and Ta Na Fuang making any progress yet?" His grin stretched from ear to ear, his eyes mischievous and smug. Right then, I finally understood. Our class reunion the other day was definitely arranged by him. No wonder everyone there was trying to push me and Na Fuang together. "I'm thinking, maybe I should turn her down," I said quietly. "I don't want to love anyone anymore. I don't plan on getting married either." "Are you insane?" Lam Duck shot back immediately, disbelief written all over his face. "A woman like Ta Na Fuang, and you want to let her go?" I sighed. "It's not that. I'm not good with relationships. I never have been. Honestly, I don't want to get married again. It's exhausting." For the first time that evening, Lam Duke's expression turned serious. He looked straight at me, his voice low. "Relationships don't fail because love is hard. They fail because of who you choose. You could love Luu Nhu Yen 100 times, and the ending would still be the same. In that relationship, you were always the one giving, and she only knew how to take. That's not love. Love has to come from both sides." His words hit me hard. I froze, unsure how to respond. I didn't expect him to see through me so clearly. Everything, every doubt, insecurity, and fear, he spoke out loud without missing a beat. He was right. After that last relationship, I didn't just lose trust in myself, I started doubting love altogether. I avoided affection, convinced myself I would never fall in love again. But looking back, I did my best. I had nothing to be ashamed of. So why was I punishing myself for someone else's mistakes? When did I become so afraid of starting over? If people who toy with love end up hurt, then why should those who are sincere be condemned to loneliness? "You deserve something good," Lam Duck said, giving my shoulder a firm pat. Determination blazed in his eyes. "Stop hesitating. Don't let this chance slip away." Then, with his usual teasing grin, he added, "She gets off work soon. If you show up, Ta Na Fuang will probably cry from happiness." I stood up, still wavering. "Lam Duck, do you think I can stop overthinking everything?" He half laughed, half scolded me. "You're a grown man. Stop acting like a heartbroken kid. Go, and if you let her leave, I swear I'll knock some sense into that thick skull of yours." I drove slowly into the parking lot beneath the office building where Ta Na Fuang worked. My heart pounded faster with each passing minute. Through the windshield, I looked up at the familiar high-rise. A mix of excitement and nerves swelled in my chest, an emotion I couldn't put into words. She would get off work in 10 minutes. I took a deep breath, trying to steady myself. The December wind was freezing, lashing against my face as if testing my resolve. I tightened my coat and forced myself to stay calm. And then I saw her. From the main lobby, Ta Na Fuang stepped out, her silhouette unmistakable under the lights. She wore a soft, flowing dress that drifted gently with the breeze, her long hair swaying lightly. In that moment, among the crowd, she was the only one I could see. A warmth spread through the cold winter air, like sunlight breaking through frost, melting every frozen corner inside me. When she noticed me, Ta Na Fuang curved her lips into that familiar playful smile. "I'm leaving tomorrow," she said, half joking, half serious. "Are you here to see me off? Or, trying to make me stay?" I swallowed, my voice trembling. If I said I wanted you to stay, would you?" Na Fuang blinked, her eyes brightening with a mixture of playfulness and anticipation. "Stay for what, exactly?" She tilted her head, teasing. "If you don't say it clearly, maybe I won't have any reason to stay." Her tone was light, but beneath it was a gentle longing that made my heart race. I bit my lip, gathered every ounce of courage, and looked straight into her eyes. "To stay, and be my girlfriend," I said firmly, emotion tightening my voice. "I like you, Ta Na Fuang." The moment the words left my mouth, heat flooded my face. Embarrassment washed over me so strongly I had to look away, terrified of her reaction. Time seemed to stop. The space between us grew so quiet I could hear my own heartbeat. It felt like an eternity passing in just a few seconds. And just when fear began creeping in, fear of being rejected again. Na Fuang suddenly stepped forward and wrapped her arms around me. "It's cold," she whispered sweetly. "Hold me tighter, my boyfriend." Then, in her uniquely mischievous tone, she added, "I'm craving hot pot. Take me to eat, okay?" For a moment, I froze, then suddenly understood. A warm rush spread from my chest through my whole body. I pulled her into my arms, smiling softly, a smile that came straight from the bottom of my heart. "Of course," I whispered. "Come on, I'll take you to the best hot pot place in the city." The bar was dim, yellow lights lazily spilling onto the wooden floor, soft low music humming in the background. In a secluded corner, Luu Nhu Yen sat with her close friend Trin Man Nhi. In front of them were 2 empty cocktail glasses. This place was familiar to them, a small, hidden corner in the middle of the city, where they would come whenever they wanted to escape the real world. Nhu Yen often dragged her friends here to drink. And once she started, she almost never stopped. Tonight was no different. She seemed determined to numb herself with alcohol, to forget everything related to Ky Bac Dat. But Man Nhi didn't look comfortable. Some things needed to be said, even if they might hurt. "Nhu Yen, did you know? Ky Bac Dat has a new girlfriend." Her voice was cautious, slow, hesitant. Nhu Yen lifted her head. A hint of surprise flickered in her eyes. But she quickly collected herself. "I know," she said firmly, "but they won't last long." Her confidence caught Man Nhi off guard. "How can you be so sure?" Nhu Yen smirked slightly, her voice calm with a touch of arrogance. "Ky Bac Dat is just trying to make me jealous. It's all an act. I'm still the one he loves the most." A self-satisfied smile spread across her face, as if everything was still under her control. Man Nhi tried to reason with her. "But I feel like this time, Ky Bac Dat is serious." A sharp glint flashed in Nhu Yen's eyes. "You'll see, as soon as I snap my fingers. He'll come back. No one suits him better than me. A guy like him, dry, boring, who else would put up with that?" she said, her voice dripping with disdain. Right at that moment, Wai Dang Tan appeared at the bar's entrance. His eyes instantly locked onto Nhu Yen, and he flashed a half-smile. He walked over, sat beside her, and the two immediately acted intimate, as if no one else existed. Man Nhi glanced at them, her eyes full of contempt. All she felt was disgust. She let out a cold, short breath, thinking, pathetic pair. Deep down, she knew clearly, Luu Nhu Yen would eventually pay the price for everything she was doing. Blank. Not long after, Nhu Yen asked Man Nhi out again. But this time, she didn't just want to drink, she needed a favor. After spending some time with Wai Dang Tan, she had started feeling bored of him. Aside from being somewhat handsome, he had nothing worth praising. Worst of all, he wasn't even as rich as Ky Bac Dat. If Wai Dang Tan had money, Nhu Yen wouldn't have hesitated to break up with Bac Dat completely and turn her secret affair into something real. But reality wasn't like that. Whatever charm Wai Dang Tan once had quickly faded. Even Nhu Yen began to realize she might have gone too far. Still, she comforted herself, telling herself it was just a fling, nothing serious. But once the excitement wore off, all that remained was emptiness and boredom. The more she thought about it, the more she realized Ky Bac Dat was the better choice. Money, a car, a home, good looks, and, most importantly, responsibility. A nearly perfect man for a husband. Whenever she was with Wai Dang Tan, images of Bac Dat filled her mind. Back when she was still with him, she used to find him annoying, always reminding, always worrying, always nagging about the smallest things. But now she realized every bit of that came from care. She remembered all the times she got drunk, even in the middle of the night. All she had to do was call, and Bac Dat would show up immediately, staying awake the whole night just to take care of her. And Wai Dang Tan? He just drank with her, got wasted, then called someone else to take her home. Blank. Some people feel boring when they're with you, too disciplined, too calm, too responsible. Ky Bac Dat was that kind of man. No drinking, no smoking, just working and caring for her. He was so perfect it suffocated her. That perfection was exactly what pushed Nhu Yen to try something new. To see what it felt like to be with someone else. At that moment, Man Nhi finally broke the silence. So what did you call me out for? Exactly? Nhu Yen stirred her cocktail lightly, her voice dropping. Can you help me tell Ky Bac Dat that I'm planning to break up with Dang Tan? Tell him to get ready. Man Nhi froze. She wanted nothing to do with this anymore. But remembering how Nhu Yen had helped her once before, she finally sighed. Fine, I'll help you, but this will be the last time. And you'd better prepare yourself, Ky Bac Dat isn't coming back. Hearing that, Nhu Yen's heart sank. She knew her foolish choices had pushed Bac Dat away, maybe for good. But deep down, she still wasn't willing to accept it. She knew she couldn't go on like this forever. It was time for change. Thanks, Man Nhi, I'll think things through, she whispered. Blank. That night, Luu Nhu Yen lay on her bed, tossing and turning, unable to sleep. Memories of Ky Bac Dat surfaced one after another, warm, gentle days that felt like they were just yesterday, yet impossibly far away. She missed his gentle eyes, his patience, his dedication, the quiet ways he cared for her. After cutting ties with Dang Tan, a mixture of emotions rose inside her, relief at escaping a meaningless relationship. And hope that Ky Bac Dat would return, love her again, worry for her the way he used to. She was certain that once she was single again, he would come find her. But the first day passed, and Bac Dat didn't show up. Nhu Yen told herself he was probably just busy, or needed more time to think. On the second day, the third, then a whole week passed with no news. Ky Bac Dat didn't come, didn't call, didn't text. No one knocked on her door in the middle of the night anymore. No gentle voice checking on her. No warm gaze lingering her way. Anxiety began to gnaw at her. Nhu Yen kept picking up her phone, unlocking the screen again and again, hoping his name would appear. But the screen stayed dark, no calls, no messages, nothing. Thinking Trin Man Nhi hadn't passed her message along, she grew furious, called her friend, and let out all her anger over the phone. The conversation quickly escalated into a heated argument. Finally, Man Nhi couldn't take it anymore and snapped. It's your own fault, Nhu Yen. You had a good man and threw him away for a pretty face. Now you regret it? Too late. Fuming, Nhu Yen yelled back, hung up, and declared their friendship over. Man Nhi, exhausted by the endless drama of her former friend, coldly ended the call without another word. After waiting helplessly for days with still no news of Ky Bac Dat, Luu Nhu Yen began to panic. She looked back on her own behavior and finally realized she might have truly hurt him this time. Alright, maybe I really went too far, she thought. After some hesitation, she decided to call him first and sincerely apologize. She believed that if she softened her tone, let him taste that old sweetness again, Ky Bac Dat would return to her. In her mind, she began imagining how happy he would be when he received her call. Thinking of that, her lips curved slightly, her gaze softened, and she finally gathered her courage and dialed his number. The ringing went on and on. With every beep, uneasiness tightened in her chest. Nhu Yen sat on the sofa, fingers tapping lightly on the armrest, staring blankly into space as if waiting for something crucial. Before this, whenever she called, whether midnight or early morning, Ky Bac Dat would always pick up immediately. No matter how busy he was, he would make time just to hear her voice, even for a few minutes. But now the phone rang endlessly with no answer. A kind of worry and disappointment she had never felt before crept into her heart. Finally, after what felt like forever, the call connected. In that moment, her tense heart loosened. She exhaled softly, a faint smile forming. See, Ky Bac Dat still loves me. How could he ignore me? It had been more than 2 months since the last time Nhu Yen contacted him. Before calling, she went over everything carefully, what to apologize for, how to sound gentle. But when the moment truly came, all her carefully prepared lines vanished. Ky Bac Dat, are you crazy? Why haven't you come to see me yet? The moment she opened her mouth, her voice revealed her old controlling tone, borderline commanding. I'm ready to accept your proposal now. Hurry and get ready, she said, trying to soften her voice, hoping to make up for her past mistakes. But before she finished, a light laugh sounded on the other end. It was gentle, clear, yet cold enough to extinguish her last bit of hope. Sorry, but he's already my husband. Ta Na Fuang spoke, her voice calm, warm, yet firm. I'm afraid he won't be proposing to you anymore. Luu Nhu Yen. In that instant, Nhu Yen went numb, her hand trembled so hard she nearly dropped the phone. Ta Na Fuang, it's you? She stammered. Oh, yes, you're smart, you guessed it right away. Na Fuang's voice was steady, light, full of quiet confidence. Where's Ky Bac Dat? Tell him to take the phone. Nhu Yen practically screamed, her voice mixed with anger and desperation. He's in the shower, Na Fuang replied calmly. If you have something to say, you can tell me, I'll pass it on. You cheap woman, Nhu Yen screamed, losing all control. But before she could finish, the call abruptly cut off. She tried calling again, but the screen displayed a cold message. The number you are trying to reach has blocked you. That moment, Luu Nhu Yen completely broke down. She hurled her phone to the floor. The screen shattered, fragments scattering like her heart, broken beyond repair. From the bathroom, I walked out and gently wrapped an arm around Ta Na Fuang's shoulders. Who was that? I asked softly. She smiled, her eyes sparkling under the warm yellow light. Your ex. She said you should hurry and go propose to her. I frowned, incredulous. Why would I, with an amazing wife like you, why would I bother with someone so ordinary? In truth, Na Fuang and I weren't officially registered as married yet, but our families had already met and finalized everything. In a few days, on the chosen auspicious date, we would hold our engagement ceremony and register our marriage on the same day. As for my ex, Luu Nhu Yen, I no longer felt anything for her. I knew she'd try to come back eventually, but I didn't want to keep playing that endless emotional game. When I saw Nhu Yen again, she looked haggard and unstable, eyes red and swollen as if she had cried all night. Her makeup wasn't neatly done the way it used to be, though a trace of her former beauty still lingered. But me? I was the complete opposite, well-rested, energized, in high spirits. That day, I was walking home hand in hand with Ta Na Fuang when I saw Nhu Yen standing in front of the apartment complex gate. When she turned and saw me, time seemed to slow, like a dramatic movie scene where former lovers meet after a painful separation. But unlike romantic stories, this meeting had no beautiful ending. There was no getting back together. I had Na Fuang now, and I would never betray her. Ky Bac Dat, Nhu Yen's voice trembled, just like all the times she used to call my name. I stood still, expressionless. So this was what true detachment felt like, when someone you once loved painfully was standing right in front of you. Yet your heart remained calm, quiet like a still lake. Ky Bac Dat, I'm back, let's get married. Her eyes were gentle, pleading. Bac Dat, can we start over? I know I was wrong. I promise I won't make a scene again. I won't throw tantrums anymore. Her voice grew smaller, carrying a pleading tone, something I never thought I'd hear from Luu Nhu Yen. But it was all too late. I looked at her and said slowly, Luu Nhu Yen, not every apology deserves forgiveness. And not every broken mirror can be mended. A wave of emotion washed over me, relief mixed with bitterness. Sweet memories from the past flickered through my mind, vivid as if they happened just yesterday. But now, between us, there was only cold distance. I knew our relationship had reached its end, there was no way back. Feeling my hand tremble slightly, Ta Na Fuang gently tightened her grip, offering me a soft smile. Her warmth steadied me, making my decision even clearer. I couldn't let the past ruin the present, nor could I betray her love and trust. Luu Nhu Yen, everything between us is over. Go, I don't love you anymore. My tone was calm, firm, final, like a verdict that could not be overturned. Nhu Yen's eyes flashed with panic, quickly replaced by pain and despair. She bit her lower lip, her voice trembling. Ky Bac Dat, just listen. I was only messing around with Wydang Tan. I never cared about him. My heart has always belonged to you. I replied coldly. You really think I'd believe that? My eyes were empty, cold like still, dead water. She froze, but still tried to hold on. Her shaking hands reached into her purse, pulling out a small velvet box. Inside was a silver ring. She held it out to me, eyes filled with despair and a sliver of fragile hope. Look, I bought the ring. I still remember your size. It fits perfectly. I didn't take it. Instead, I stepped back. Nhu Yen, I have a girlfriend. We're getting married in a few days. Don't make this worse. Let it end peacefully. You're lying, she screamed. Voice cracked with hysteria. You two are just pretending. Right? You're doing this to make me mad. Come with me, Bac Dat, I promise. After we get married, we'll be happy. I'll give you a cute, obedient son. I closed my eyes, suppressing the irritation rising within me. Nhu Yen, I don't want to talk anymore. Go, don't make me hate you. My voice dropped, filled with exhaustion and contempt. Ky Bac Dat, she cried, tears streaming down her face. That woman, Ta Na Phuong, she only loves you for your money. I'm not like her. I looked at her, my eyes icy. Oh really, Luu Nhu Yen? You're saying you love me, only because I'm me? She fell silent, her face stiff, as if strangled by her own words. Defeat settled in her bloodshot eyes, eyes that finally realized everything was truly over. Don't assume all women are like you, vain, greedy, and drowning in your own drama, I said coldly, with a hint of bitter mockery. People around us began slowing down, staring curiously. Whispers floated around. Anyone could sense the tension thickening the air. Nhu Yen stiffened, shaken by my unwavering tone. I gently took Ta Na Phuong's hand and walked past her without looking back. We were almost out of sight when her trembling voice broke behind us. Ky Bac Dat, can you at least tell me why? Why did you choose her? I stopped and turned slightly, my expression calm as still water. It's simple, I said quietly. Because she loves me. Nhu Yen let out a laugh, bitter and hopeless. She said nothing more, just stood there alone in the crowd. As I held Na Phuong's hand, I didn't grip her too tightly, but I always kept her behind me, shielding her from curious eyes. There was a time long ago, in a bar, when Nhu Yen was fighting with someone and I protected her the same way, stepping forward, shielding her. But now, the woman I protected was no longer her. Only then did she finally regret it. I was still the same calm, composed man. Even when she insulted me or caused a scene, I responded gently, without harshness. And it was in that moment Luu Nhu Yen truly understood. I had stopped loving her. She once believed that even if I rejected her, she wouldn't be hurt. But she was wrong. She never expected her feelings for me to run so deep. Maybe she had loved Ky Bac Dat for a very long time, without ever realizing it. People, when forced to choose, often fail to see themselves clearly, and end up doing things they regret for life. After that day, Luu Nhu Yen disappeared completely from my life. A month later, at the wedding of me and Ta Na Phuong, our friends and family gathered. Amidst the laughter and blessings, Na Phuong told me a secret. That class reunion, the place we, coincidentally, met again, was actually staged. And the person behind it was none other than Lam Duc, my close friend. I burst into laughter, surprised yet touched. Who would have thought? Lam Duc wasn't just my best friend, he was also Na Phuong's cousin. 7 years have passed since our wedding. Now we have a son and a daughter, a home filled with laughter. Lam Duc is still the same playful guy, always calling me brother-in-law, just to tease me. Hey brother-in-law, say kusin for me. I replied with a half-joking sigh. Fine, grandpa. He burst out laughing. Not bad, kid. From the kitchen, Na Phuong called out. Cousin, your brother-in-law is about to beat someone again. And in that moment, I realized. Sometimes happiness isn't something you search far and wide for. It's simply holding the right person's hand. And never letting go. The story ends here, but the night is far from over. Join us again, where new secrets and passions await.